Let's start with Mike D'Antoni saying he feels good about the Rockets defensively, despite doubts since Trevor Ariza, Moute, both of his free agents. They also lost their head defensive coaching assistant. He says the media reports that we are going to be worse defensively. Obviously, the players read and they put a lot of emphasis into it, and we're not going to be worse. We're going to be better. Stack, that face you're making right now tells me you don't agree with him.
Trevor Ariza, P.J. Tucker. You got both of those guys. They can take turns guarding the best player. You know, give them a blow every now and then. You don't have one of those guys. I don't see how you feel you're going to be better. Melo has never been a great defender. I'm sorry. Chris Paul's a pit bull. He's a great defender. James, you can cross him over in the phone booth. I don't see anybody making this team better on defense. I'm sorry. I just don't see it.
Well, James' effort certainly improved a lot the last couple of seasons. But
stop it, Rach.
It's not his.
It's not his forte. That's not his job.
It's not his job.
It's not his job.
It wasn't my job either, but I played on both sides.
That was your job. No, here's the deal, right? Mike D'Antoni is my guy, but I'm going to use a quote that he had from years ago when we were in Phoenix. First of all, people said that we were a poor defensive team. They didn't know about defensive rating back then. We were actually middle of the pack. But the other thing that Mike said is, you know, people say, oh, he doesn't coach defense. He says, no, I don't have elite defensive personnel. Give me great defensive personnel, I'll give you a great defense. Last year, he had great defensive personnel. He gave you a great defense. So you take out two guys, Trevor Ariza and Mbah Moute, and you'll replace them with Melo, who we just talked about, Michael Carter-Williams, who is and James Ennis, who is a good defensive player, but also has played about the same number of minutes as, you know, a player who's got about 1 or 2 years in this league. So very inexperienced, not the same kind of veteran savvy that you had with an Ariza or Mbah Moute as far as knowing different coverages.
And
experience, absolutely, because a lot of the NBA defense is just you remembering and being anticipated because we saw exact tendencies.
Oh, that pass is coming.
Exactly.
There's another part of that quote that I'm going to pay more attention to, which is not that they're going to be better on defense. It's that he's upset that the players think that they're not going to be as good on defense. And I remember talking to him last year, and I said, you said from day one that Chris Paul and James Harden were going to work together. I didn't necessarily believe it. And he said one of the reasons why it worked is because we believed in it from day one. We all bought into it. And I think what he's trying to do here is he knows they're not going to be as good defense. He knows they're not going to be better. But he'd like the players not to come in and say, well,
we're going to be bad anyway.
No, we're just better
psychology. Reverse psychology.
But I think it's a losing.
It doesn't work in the NBA.
I think it's a losing.
You still got to go out there and play. It doesn't work. First time somebody put 200 points on you, yeah, you're right.
It doesn't work.
Right, and look, you and I have talked about Jimmy Butler and whether Houston, how involved they were going to try to get into those discussions. And this is another
they made a bid.
Why.
I mean, they're still in it.
So
they're going to outscore a lot of people, but I don't know about stopping.
I do say, though, that, look, we say it all the time. Daryl Morey is never done till he's done. So whatever the last point is, that they can sign people off the street, like Gerald Green, right? After the trade deadline, after the
142 days till the trade deadline.
Right, after all of that, then we will see what kind of threat they are to Golden State.